conduct.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Wait.
Everybody calm down.
I'm genuinely speechless. I actually don't even know what to say now. But hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I am going to be reviewing the highly anticipated Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Finally, after 5 years, it's out. Thank God. And if you don't know already, this film is the sequel to the highly acclaimed Into the Spider-Verse film, which released in 2018. And this time we follow Miles again as he discovers a secret spider society that's been running behind the scenes and saving the multiverse from otherworldly threats. I would explain the film more to you, but I don't want to spoil it because I think the film really, the best part of it lies with its spoilers. So this is going to be a non-spoiler video. I might make a spoiler video because there's a lot to talk about. But let's just get straight into this video because I think this is going to be a really friggin' short review. Not because I don't have a whole lot to say, but because I really don't have that much to rant about either. Which is very interesting because I usually have negatives. I like to take everything from a very professional light. I try and give you guys the actual negatives of a film if I spot any. And with this movie, it was so difficult for me to actually figure out what I disliked about it. So for this video, I'm actually going to start out with the cons first because I have a lot less to say about things I actually disliked about the movie than things that I fucking loved. So let's just get all the negative stuff out of the way first, shall we? And speaking off that directly is that my first con of the movie, the thing I hated the most, was the fact that the movie ended. It was the fact that the movie had a title sequence and it ended. And it meant I couldn't watch it a little bit more. Why did they do that? Like, I'm gonna say a bold claim here. I personally think that this movie is perfect. There was not one thing in this movie that I was sitting there watching going, oh, I don't like that, or oh, that's not good. No, every single second of this movie, I friggin' loved. Thank God. I was so nervous that this movie was, for some reason, gonna be bad. Like, in a year of just constant disappointment, it feels like, I was so relieved to feel that this movie was friggin' incredible, and I had no worries, and gives me full confidence that the next film might actually be even better. Because this is a two-parter film, you have to realize. So the next one might be even better than this, which I have no idea how they're gonna get across, and I have no idea if they're gonna achieve it. I hope they do, because it'd be friggin' incredible. Like, it's at a point right now where I'm kind of just reassessing Across the Spider-Verse and Into the Spider-Verse, and I actually think Across the Spider-Verse may be my brand new favorite Spider-Man movie. Like, 100%. I'm getting this excited about it because I really do think that, like, there are so many little things. Now that I think about it, I come down and I sit here and I'm just like, that was so friggin' good. And I genuinely feel like this movie is a genuine evolution of everything from the first film. Like, literally everything. I'm not even joking about that. Starting off with the first thing I loved, can we talk about the animation for a second? Like, please? I'm still flabbergasted by this. They somehow made the animation in Into the Spider-Verse look better. Like, they actually pushed it further and made it look even better in this movie. I didn't even think that was possible. Everyone had heard the rumors that they were going to go to multiple different universes in this movie and they were all going to have their different animation styles, but holy crap, bro. Oh my God. But if you couldn't guess it, the animation in this movie is friggin' incredible. Like, I don't think I've seen a nicer looking movie in my entire life. It's so different with every animation style it goes for, and it nails it. Every single goddamn time it nails it. I was genuinely just dumbfounded the entire thing, like, holy shit. Like, I thought the first one looked nice, and this movie genuinely, it took my breath away. And oh my God, the fight scenes in this movie are even better than the first one. Like I said, the animation's like wildly different opposed to the first one. It pushes the boundary, and there are so many scenes in the fight scenes where you can just tell that. There's a really great sequence at the beginning of this movie, and it's from the trailer, it's not a spoiler, where they're fighting the Vulture. And the Vulture is sort of from this medieval universe. So you're seeing all these like graphs come up of how he builds all this medieval like weaponry, and it like flashes in between fight scenes. It was incredible. Like, I was just like floored, just like, oh my god. And it all has that same energy that the first one had, because the first one was very energetic. It was very fast and quick paced. And this film is all that, but so much more. And I am going to tiptoe around my next subject a little bit, and that's the story. Like I said, I did give a very brief description of what this movie is about, but I don't want to full on spoil it for people, because I don't want to spoil it. This movie is so unique in its presentation and everything it does, and that includes the story, but the story is honestly just really friggin' interesting. And I think it's better you not knowing what the film is going to entirely be about going into it, because it makes it a lot better, because I certainly didn't know entirely what the film was going to be about. So when you sit down and you watch it, you're just like, wow, like this is really friggin' interesting, and it makes me excited for part 2 even more. And of course, just like the first, this movie has so many new supporting characters that I'm gonna say it right now, I loved every single one of them. There was not one that I disliked. There was not one that I'm like, I don't want you on screen. I love them all. Every single character in this movie was fantastic. Especially Spider-Man 2029. I friggin' loved this guy the entire movie. He was sort of like the boss of this secret spider society, and he was super badass. Like, he was so brooding, but he wasn't like so brooding that it came off as comical. It was just, he was complex. Like, they give him motivation in this movie and a backstory that is genuinely heartbreaking. So after seeing that backstory, you completely understand what Miguel, the character, is going through, and it was really well done. Like, it was insanely well done, and it never took away from how just flat out badass he was. Like, he's such a freaking cool character, and I don't want to spoil anything about him, but oh my god, definitely a highlight of the movie. Oscar Isaac, who played him, did a fantastic job. And also Pav, or Spider-Man India. I say Pav because I cannot pronounce his full name. I'll let him say his name.
My name is Pravitra Prabhakar. I live in the best possible Spider-Man city, Mumbattan. This is where the traffic is. This is also where the traffic is. There's traffic here.
But what a funny and likable character. He's very much, I think he was definitely the most wholesome Spider-Man in this movie. The most carefree one who just thought, oh, you know, this job's easy, you know. And he's just swinging around doing all this great stuff. And he's got a lot of really great and funny moments in this movie. And oh my god, he was so much fun to watch. And he was voiced by the same actor who played Dopender in Deadpool. So I thought that was pretty funny. Can we talk about my favorite character in this movie being Hobie Brown? This guy is so goddamn cool.
Hi, my name's Obi Brown.
How are you even cooler under your mask?
I was just cool the whole time.
I freaking loved this guy. He was the most dark and depressing Spider-Man out of the bunch, and he just craved off anarchy. He just wanted chaos, but he wasn't a bad guy. He was genuinely just a guy who wanted chaos and liked that. So every chance you get, you can see him like slowly trying to make people like get angry or make a conflict. It's hilarious. And I loved his relationship with Miles too. It was so wholesome and funny. And the animation style that they give him when he shows up for the first time, like, oh my god. Like, I audibly like gasped. I was like, oh my god. That looks so fucking cool, and I need more. I need more. Can we just have a Spider-Punk solo movie? Please? Like, come on, man. Please. And also, I gotta mention Ben Reilly. They make him the super, like, dramatic, angsty Spider-Man in this movie. And I gotta say, I friggin' loved it. It was hilarious. And it's even funnier knowing who voiced him, which I'm not gonna say because that might be a little bit of a spoiler, but even though I'm pretty sure they already said, but I'm not gonna say it just in case. And another really good surprise in this movie was the villain of the movie. The villain in this movie is Spot, a very lesser known Spider-Man villain. Not a whole lot of people know about this character. And in this movie, the first beginning of the movie, he's very much played as the B character. They give him a backstory. It makes sense. His backstory does make a lot of sense, but he's definitely a lower tier Marvel character, and he's funny. Like, he's hilarious, because you're just kind of like, this guy, really? This guy is the villain of this movie? But then it continuously goes on, and he kind of starts to get more angry, and he starts to do more stuff, and he progressively becomes the goofball, incompetent loser, to the actual, oh my god, I'm terrified of you character, that I'm like, I genuinely don't know how they're gonna stop this guy, because oh my god. Like, bro, by the end of this movie, you're just like, oh my, you're like, oh shit. You're like, oh, this is what we're having to deal with now? Damn, because, my god, he was so cool by the end of the movie. And I just loved him at the beginning, too. He's just funny and wholesome. And then he just goes into pure god mode by the end, and I fucking loved it. And the last thing I do want to talk about is, I feel like people are going to have a certain way of perceiving this movie, because in the trailer, This movie has a lot, and I do mean a lot, of Easter eggs and cameos. I'm gonna say that right now. But this movie isn't Cameo the movie, you know? This movie doesn't just have cameos. It's just a damn good movie in every regard. The cameos are the icing on the cake. There are so many times in the movie where I like audibly like shouted like, oh my god, from certain things that happened or certain people that showed up. I'm not gonna say who, but wow. Like there were certain times I was just floored. I'm like, they really did that. They really did that. It's crazy, but it never takes away from the movie. You just still have this really strong movie, but all these little cherries on top, and they're fantastic. And it makes you want to see the movie again, just to see what I didn't see before. I loved it. But if it wasn't obvious already, this movie's a 10. Like, were you expecting anything else? I literally have nothing bad to say about this movie besides the fact that it ended. That is the only bad thing I had, and I know I'm saying this, but this has literally never happened to me before. Even with something like Into the Spider-Verse, I felt like there were moments that were dragged out a little bit too much, but this movie makes so much use of its time and its runtime and every little thing that's going on, and I think it was done masterfully. I honestly think that this might be better than Into the Spider-Verse. I want to watch it again just so I can confirm that, but I freaking love this movie. Go see it. If you are not planning on going to see this movie, what are you doing? Go out, buy a ticket right now. Like right now. But anyways, if you like this video, please like and subscribe down below for more content on the channel coming pretty damn soon. And I'm gonna see you all in the next one. See ya.